Hey, thanks for checking out The Solid Verbal. Now would be a great time to subscribe to the channel for college football content all off season long. All right, you want to go to Ohio State?
I would love to.
Let's do that tandem of
privilege.
Michigan and Ohio State near the top.
I would love to do that, Dan. Yeah. So look, Ohio State's in a similar position as Michigan because they made the playoff a year ago as well. 11-2 was their final record. They lost in heartbreaking fashion to Georgia. They basically played Georgia to a draw. If you look at the stats, it was an even game against Georgia. And they were up 14 with 10 minutes left, and they ended up losing 42-41. So I want you to keep that in perspective. Despite all the hand-wringing about getting drilled by Michigan in consecutive years, this is still obviously an incredible team.
Yeah.
And maybe the only team all season that laid a glove on Georgia, the defending two-time defending national champions.
Right there.
They led 20-17, as I said earlier, over Michigan as well in the game. So it's not like Ohio State is on an entirely different plane from what we're perceiving as the best in college football. They're right there with them. It was just the big play thing. The big pass problem is what I've got as my point of fascination.
Okay.
Because they're loaded on both sides of the ball. It's an embarrassment of riches. It's also striking, as an aside, how few seniors project as like starters in this system. 7 of 22, by my count, are seniors or grad transfers.
Well, the good ones go pro,
students.
but yeah.
The good ones go pro. The good ones will go pro after this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think there'll be a lot of turnover afoot after 2023. The defense will be a little better. I think the offense will be a little bit worse, but by and large, they're going to be really good. They're going to be really good, and they're going to be in this conversation all year. Honestly, if it weren't for a few big pass plays last year, explosive pass plays, this is a much different conversation about Ohio State this year. There's a few plays that got them. It's a few plays. J.J. McCarthy hit 3 of them in the second half of that game, all of which went for more than 40 yards, and that was why they lost to Michigan. Then Stetson Bennett had the long one to start the comeback in the playoff game. So you stop a few of those, and I think Ohio State, you can make a case that Ohio State's the defending national champion. It's not a lot that they need to fix here, in my view.
Okay.
Defense is loaded. I sense from what you said there that you don't fully agree.
I mean, you could make the case that Ohio State is the defending national champion.
Well, not now, but if a few things go in their direction in the playoff game, maybe otherwise.
Okay.
If they stop a few more of those big plays, then maybe it's a much different conversation right now. They were good enough to be in that championship game. Maybe they should have.
Look, if Notre Dame stopped a few more plays, they probably would have beaten Marshall.
You're going to give me the if wheels, I'm a bicycle thing.
Right.
I know.
Like,
I know.
this is
I know.
this
It's
is the
fine.
sport.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like they're that far off.
No, of course. No, they're
not far off. They weren't far off.
Played Georgia more impressively than any other team.
The defense returns 77% of its production. 10 guys earned some form of all Big Ten honors, which is nuts. Just think about that. They play 11 guys. 10 of them earned all Big Ten honors in some capacity. Tommy Eichenberg, Steel Chambers, those are the linebackers that are, I think, kind of quarterbacking the defense. Both are back. JT Tuimoloau.
Yeah.
Did I say that
You did
right?
a good job from Washington, yeah.
Tuimoloau.
Close enough.
I'm really bad at these names. I apologize.
Okay.
I'm trying. He's obviously a force up front
JTT.
and made his name. JTT. Thank you. I like it. This is going to be year 2 under Jim Knowles. I think the pass rush is going to get better. The front 7 obviously is going to be incredible based on the names that I rattled off there. I don't fully know what to make of the secondary. And that presents a little bit of a conflict because I know that the big pass problem is the thing that they got to fix. It's Ohio State. They've got guys, plenty of depth, obviously. It's just not as proven as I think the rest of the defense. So that's the one thing that I am watching. I do think, though, the defense as a whole will get better. It's year 2 under Jim Knowles. They took a huge step forward last season. For the most part, it was just a few things that ultimately got in their way. The interesting thing, though, another interesting thing on Ohio State's side, we're up to 9 points and only 3 teams here. The schedule. Schedule's kind of challenging.
I agree.
This season. On the road at Notre Dame, they got Wisconsin on the road. They got Michigan on the road. They're home against Penn State. All of those teams are going to throw it. And so the reason I bring it up right now is because if they don't get the secondary and the big pass problem sorted out, then perhaps this is something we could see more of could be something that gets stuck in their craw. Another point of fascination, I won't ding it again. We're up to 10 points already. This is crazy. But not so much a question of skill talent on offense. It's Ohio State. They've got the best receiver room in the country with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Egbuka, Julian Fleming. They're going to be very good. Nobody can cover them.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a quarterback thing. Like, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Kyle McCord? Is it going to be Devin Brown? I thought they would have named Kyle McCord by now. It sounds like Ryan Day is going to take that all the way into the fall.
Okay.
Kyle McCord's got more experience. He gained more experience in actual gameplay. He also gained more experience in the spring because Devin Brown hurt his hand. But we'll find out more about who that guy is going to be. Whoever it is will obviously have weapons to throw to. They'll have backs behind them. The line needs to be a little bit reconstituted. They lose 3 starters. But at this point, with the way that Ryan Day has the offense humming, you could probably start a cardboard cutout at quarterback and still get, top 20 level caliber performance.
Yep.
Ohio State is going to score points. Guys will get open. Whoever the quarterback is going to have good numbers. So look, I'm splitting hairs here by talking about one specific stat that continuously came back and got Ohio State in the butt last year.
Ooh.
The schedule is a bit challenging, but I feel like they've got the horses, and it ultimately is going to come down to a few games this year. It's going to come down to the Michigan game. It's going to come down to the Penn State game, probably the Notre Dame game, and maybe Wisconsin to some extent. Wisconsin's probably going to throw it with Tanner Mordecai, but like, if you're an Ohio State fan, it comes down to beating Michigan and maybe winning a playoff game. Otherwise, that anything short of that is probably a disappointment.
Well, yeah, anything short of winning the Big Ten is a disappointment for sure.
Yeah, of course.
And not making the playoff is always going to be a disappointment for Ohio State. I mean, the fascinating thing to me with Ohio State, again, I think I echo what you say, that the quarterback situation will be fine just because of how advantaged whoever that quarterback is will be with the running backs next to him, with the receivers and tight end, Cade Stoverback, right, that he's throwing to. The offensive line is kind of new, right? They're replacing 2 or 3 full-time guys, but a lot have played.
There's enough there that it's not a full rebuild like we're going to talk about with Maryland. Okay,
right.
It's just these are things on different levels altogether. They will be fine up front, but I think it would be foolish to expect it's going to perform at the same level as last year. Maybe a slight step back at worst.
Yeah. So the thing to me is probably with Ohio State that is still the concern is the secondary, just because, and I guess the word would be islands. They were especially bad when they were manned up by Penn State guys, by Michigan guys, by Georgia guys, if that's who you're measuring yourself against, because Ohio State dudes got pressure in this new defense. They got to the quarterback. And so it was a lot of issues with letting guys get behind you or losing those 50-50 balls against the more talented guys on the better teams, just to see, because Denzel Burke is back, and Proctor and Ransom, they're back. They're good players, but it's just, are they going to be put in better position, and are they going to be better when finding themselves on islands against Cornelius Johnson, right? Against, I don't have Penn State's receiver room in front of me. I always forget who's on Penn State, who's still
Dante
around. Cephas, right. Guys like that, because they did
Keandre Lambert Brown. Yeah.
They did give up plays last year, and the game started very well for Ohio State last year, but Penn State made a ton of plays. Last year was Parker Washington, and so are they able to smother a little bit more this year? That to me is huge.
Keandre Lambert Smith. I said Lambert Brown. I apologize. Okay. I'm yelling here.
You're good.
I feel great about Ohio State. Their over-under is 10.5. I don't know if I would take the over on that, frankly.
Okay.
I don't know if I would go there with it. They obviously have the players that can win 12 games. The quarterback thing, we'll wait and see on that one.
Arguably the most gravitational player in college football, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
They're in a great spot.
I'm not saying they won't hit that over, by the way. I'm just saying I would not bet it personally.
Okay.